Cameron here from elementarygroovetracks.com, and today's topic is de-escalating conflict in the elementary music classroom. The first way to de-escalate conflict is to give your students a choice. The first thing you'll do is state the rule that the student isn't following. After that, you'll cite their behavior so that they know that they're not following that rule. And after that, you'll give them a choice to receive a consequence or to correct their behavior. What that does is that points out to the student that their behavior is their responsibility and that they have a choice in what they do. When you do this, the student has a choice to receive the consequence because they have time to think about it beforehand, or to correct their behavior. And when you do that, most of the time the student will make the decision to do the right thing. Another tip to de-escalate conflict in the music classroom is to use what I call a cool-down corner. What this is an area of the classroom where students can go and they can manage their emotions, whether it be anger or other emotions that are distracting from your classroom procedures. Things that a cool-down corner might include are a stress ball or other anti-stress devices, a worksheet where students can write down how they're feeling and they can process their emotions, and a poster on the wall that lists certain techniques for students to calm down. When a student is able to go to a cool-down corner, not only do they feel safe, but they're able to make a choice to manage their own feelings with dignity, and that gives them the opportunity to not be embarrassed and to learn more about their emotions and to be able to handle them more appropriately. After the student is done cooling down in the cool-down corner, they can rejoin the class and they can get right back to making music. A powerful way to de-escalate conflict in the music classroom is to remove the audience. Many times a student will display negative behavior because it gets them attention not only from you, but from the other students around them. When they do that, the strategy to remove the audience is to either get closer to the student or to ask the student to come to you and to speak to them quietly. When you do that, it makes it so that the other students aren't clued into what's going on with that conversation. You're able to prevent embarrassing the student, and you're able to handle the situation without feedback from other students, which causes the student that may be escalating that conflict to stop using negative means to get attention. Once the situation is handled, the student can go back to where they were, and you can continue to teach without that student trying to use the energy from an audience in order to throw your class lessons off track. A very important tip in de-escalating conflict in the music classroom is to remain calm. This is important for a number of reasons. Number one, when you remain calm, your body language shows that whatever a disruptive student may be doing isn't getting to you. Many times students are disruptive for attention, and so if they don't get that reaction, the behavior is more likely to stop. Another thing it does is it keeps you in control. When you're in control of your own emotions and when you're in control of your actions, you're able to make better decisions about how to de-escalate the conflict. The last thing it does is it discourages the student from seeking that attention in a negative way. When they see that you're calm and you're not reacting to what they do, then they'll choose other ways to try to get positive attention, hopefully by following the directions in your class. Another way to de-escalate conflict in the music classroom is to restate the student's feelings. What that means is that if a student is expressing something, chances are they're not doing it in a very classroom appropriate way or in a way that accurately depicts what's going on. A student might say in frustration or anger, "I hate music class." Well, if they do that, you can say, Well, it seems like you're unhappy with the activities that we're doing today. And you can then offer to talk with them after class about some activities they like. What happens is the student gets clued in more closely to their own emotions, and they're able to process that a little bit better so that they can get the need that they expressed it with met. When that happens, the student not only feels heard, but you can help the student understand how to properly express emotions in class, and you can help them get the needs that they're looking for met. So if a student is unhappy, they can express how they feel and what they might want. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what will happen in class, but at least the student feels heard and they can feel like they're more integrated into your classroom setting and that they can find better ways to express themselves. All right, I've got a bonus tip for you. The bonus tip is to ask questions in order to break the pattern of a student who is escalating a conflict. What this does is this allows you to not only stop the student, but it allows you to shift things to where the student is more focused on positive things and positive behaviors instead of negative behaviors. Here's an example. If a student is acting out in your classroom, you can ask them a question like, "Did you have breakfast this morning?" If the student says no, you know that they may be acting that way because they're hungry. But if they did have breakfast, they're thinking about food instead of thinking about what ways they can use to throw your lesson or your classroom off track. Another question you can ask them is about their interests, because most students respond positively to this. You can say, what's one of your favorite hobbies, or what sports do you like? The student might seem confused at first, and that time where they're thinking is a time where you can redirect them. And if you use that strategy to ask a question, it might end up being the thing that gets your lesson right back on track from the distractions that conflict can cause. Again, I'm Cameron from elementarygroovetracks.com. And if there's a place to leave a comment anywhere around here, please do so. I'd love to hear your feedback and what strategies you use to de-escalate conflict in your classroom. Also, visit elementarygroovetracks.com and take a look around. You can enter your email address and I will send you a free premium groove track. And also, I'll send you the content that I come out with each week. I try to provide quality content not only to help teachers with strategies for teaching, but also with different pieces of content they can use in their classroom, such as groove tracks and sheet music, to make things easier for them and to have quality pieces of music to use with their students.